Hi everyone, this time I want to talk about racing line, how to figure out the fastest way into a corner and why a specific trajectory is faster than another one. Usually we'll find different track guides where skilled drivers are teaching the way to interpret the track and telling you where to brake and when to turn. This time I don't want to do anything of that. As an old sim racer once said, teach a man to fish, gets fish for a lifetime. Give a man a fish, he only has one fish. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm giving you some clues so you can figure out yourself what's the fastest way into a corner. So one of the pictures that comes to mind when you first think about the optimal racing line is a picture like this. This picture explains a trajectory that starts from the very edge of the track, then clips the apex in the very middle of the corner, and eventually ends up on the other edge of the track in the exit of the corner. This line is called geometric line and it ensures that the car turns with the largest radius possible, allowing the car to hold the highest speed possible in the middle of the corner. This is one of the most misleading pictures you could possibly find about the subject, and not necessarily because it's wrong, but because it implies that this line is generic enough to be applied on every corner, and this could be further from the truth. If you follow the advice given by this picture, you will soon find out that a lot of people will catch you out in the end of every straight, and you will wonder yourself why. The reason is very simple. That picture explains how to optimize your speed for that corner and in the middle of the corner alone, ignoring everything that came behind and everything that comes after. It should be clear to all of you that when a car is on a straight line, full throttle, it's faster. Curves and corners are an obstacle to that status. And looking from this perspective, the question you should ask yourself is not how do I get across this corner as fast as possible, rather than how do I get to the next straight line full throttle as soon as possible. I'll show you a couple of examples that will explain that. This is the hairpin at Suzuka. I don't know why I keep coming to this corner for my tutorials. And I'll take the geometric line first. So I enter the corner, I clip the apex in the very middle of the corner, and I go to the very edge of the exit of the corner. As you can see, I engaged full throttle at 12.4 seconds. I couldn't do that before because the car was still turning. The final time is 15.5 seconds. But let's try now to take a different line, which is called the late apex. This consists in clipping the apex a little bit further from the middle of the corner, by turning into a corner a little bit later, a little bit slower. This will make us slower in the middle of the corner, but as you will see now that we engage full throttle at 11.7 seconds. And that's because the car is positioned in such a way that it's straightened up earlier rather than waiting for the end of the corner to be straightened up. This allows to have a faster acceleration rate and gaining time in the next straight. But let's see what happens when we take this concept to the very extreme. We are trying a very late apex, so we are turning very late. But you will see now that the result is not what we expected, because we engage full throttle at 12.0 seconds. And that's because we are losing time the more we are delaying the entrance of the corner. This means that we can't overuse the late apex technique. This doesn't mean the late apex is always the best choice. Remember, the focus should be get the next straight full throttle ASAP. This is now the hairpin at Fuji. We are trying to apply the same late apex technique, but this time doesn't work. You see the ghost that is separating from us. And it doesn't work because the late apex aims to maximize acceleration on exit. But this time there's no straight. This means that the sacrifice that we made on entry is not paid off by gaining acceleration. We're just throwing away time. The correct trajectory, which are now showing, is a slow approach to the hairpin, turning very early. This will cut the amount traveled at the expense of the slower speed, but we will be able to put the car in a better position and more orientated in the direction of the next available straight. What I want to show you now is a situation where the geometric line is the better choice. This happens usually on fast corners, where the only way to get full power as early as possible is to maintain as much speed as possible mid-corner. I'm showing now the correct line through Kamsa, taking the correct geometric line. And you'll see now at the end of this section they will end up with a time of 40.2. What I'm trying to do now is to try to apply the same late apex technique for a comparison in the same corner to see what happens. And what happens is that we need to slow down so much that makes the difference in speed become so massive that we can make up for it and for the time lost by the end of the straight. The result is a 40.8 seconds, which is way slower than before. So the point of all of this is that there's no trajectory that is good for every corner. You need to balance between three things: speed on entry, the radius of the corner, thus the speed on the middle of the corner, and the position of the car for acceleration on exit. Always remembering the goal, having full power as early as possible on the next straight. I'm suggesting you eventually not to consider a line for each corner in isolation, but if there are multiple curves one after the other, consider a single line all through those to get your car in the best position possible to get full acceleration at the beginning of the straight. And that's it for now. Hope you enjoyed. Until next time, bye.